What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the P&B show with Brennen and Peyson.
Welcome back.
So, we're going to do a quick episode of Fast Fact Friday.
Yes, sir. So today we want to talk about basically how to invest in real estate with no money down. So I know that kind of sounds like something crazy because real estate costs a lot of money.
Right.
But something that we actually do even personally, it's called something called wholesaling.
Which we've talked about on the previous podcast a couple times.
I think we talked about it majority. Or for the most part, on the very first episode of our podcast. So if you want to find out more about it, you could also go back to that first podcast, either on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or even, or I guess we don't have those ones on YouTube yet.
Right, those are original podcasts, so yeah.
You'd have to check those out on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever you guys got for podcasts, we have it on there.
Exactly.
But basically what it is you go and you'll go to a seller. They normally have to be a pretty motivated seller. They're not just any seller. You're talking about probably the 1 to 5% of people that want to sell their homes. Like, it's a very small niche of people, and you convince them to end up selling their property for probably a little for a decent discount off of the regular price.
Right.
And then since you're getting it from a discount, so say your property is $100,000. Say you get this property for $50,000, you're going to assign a wholesale fee for $10,000, and then technically you're selling the property now for $60,000. The owner makes $50,000. The owner gets the $50,000, you get $10,000, and the buyer buys it for $60,000, and then they can then sell it even for $100,000.
Right.
So it's super lucrative, and it's
pretty simple.
It's pretty simple. It's not the hardest to do.
It's not hard at all.
We've been doing it, and I don't think we're any rocket scientists by any means. But that's definitely a way to get started. You can also do something called seller financing. And if the seller is okay with doing this, you can actually get them to basically hold their loan on, and you agree to pay down the loan over X amount of years, and then you end up actually end up either assuming the loan or end up buying it for whatever the leftover purchase price is once you're ready and able to. But a lot of people do that too, and then you only put down maybe a few $1,000s instead of having to get a whole loan from like an FHA loan or a conventional loan or whatever it may be. So there's multiple different ways to get started, and that's what's so awesome about real estate. There's so many different ways to make money.
And what we've learned, which is super important for those that are planning on getting into it, from wholesaling, from our perspectives, is that even though it really didn't cost much to start doing, it does require a lot of work, though. It does require a lot of discipline.
No, this isn't one of those things where you could just hop on tomorrow. I mean, I know there's some people that they hop on and literally the first person they talk to, they get the perfect deal. But odds are probably I would say 99% of the time, because we've sent out we've talked to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people.
Well, how many messages do we send out a day?
We send out 500 messages a day to houses. 500 houses is what we talk to a day. And it's like finding a needle in a haystack. It's not this
you gotta be relentless, you gotta be disciplined,
it's a consistent thing. Like, if you're not doing this consistently, you're not going to do anything with it. But it's definitely, if someone is interested in real estate and they have no money or very little money, because you can spend money and it will speed up the process. There's all different types of ways to do it. I've done it where it literally has cost me no money, and I've also done it where it has cost me some money. Obviously, when you pay a little bit of money, you get a little bit more out of it. So, like, obviously, us doing the 500 a day, we have to spend money on that. But you don't have to do 500. You could do 50 to 100 a day. You just have to individually text people and individually call people yourself. So it may take a little bit longer. But, I mean, hey, if you're trying to get started and you have no money, there's still a way. And that's what's so cool about this. And you don't need credit. You don't need cash. You don't need to be a professional. Like, there's so many things that you could just learn now online from YouTube and all these other things.
I got started, college student, no money.
Yeah, so there's so many different ways, and that's why it's so cool. Like, hey, you could actually get invested in real estate with no money or no money down. Like, it's actually a real thing. And so many of these people, I've heard of people where they started out their business in wholesaling, and now they own these huge real estate empires where they're buying out huge apartment complexes and huge shopping centers. And like, you ask them, like, I started out with wholesaling. Yeah. Like back in the 90s or like 80s or 90s. And I mean, obviously that's older to us.
Right.
But maybe not to everyone. But it's so cool to hear like, hey, like other people have done this too, and they've created
it's something that
a huge
that
amount
works.
of success for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just wanted to give you guys that tip, and if you guys want to check out, we have 2 favorite people that we watch and that we learned from,
Maxwell
and Sean Terry.
He's super awesome.
If you guys want to check those guys out,
Maxwell actually makes the platform that we use.
Oh
Propstream.
yes, we use Propstream. It's basically imagine Zillow on steroids is what I would think of it, right?
Literally all the information that you could possibly ask for.
Yeah. So if you guys want to check it out, Propstream, we can link all these things in the description below.
For sure.
But definitely check those out if you are interested in real estate. If you're interested in anything that has to do with real estate and getting started in that, I would check those out. It does require a lot of work. It is not the easiest thing in the world.
Nope.
And some people make it look really easy, and it's not. But I mean, hey, if anything worth something is never going to be easy, you're going to have to fight for it.
Right.
So we hope you guys have a good one, and peace out. We'll see you guys on Monday.